What if the next global conflict didn't begin with missiles, but with quiet decisions made in political offices? And what if one country behind the scenes could change everything? Before we begin, welcome to the final Braincell, where we uncover the hidden forces shaping our world. If you enjoy powerful stories about global politics, mystery, and truth behind the headlines, make sure to subscribe now. Your one click helps this channel grow and brings you more mind-opening stories every week. Right now, tensions between Iran and United States continue to rise. But there is another powerful player many people overlook. That player is the United Kingdom, a nation that has shaped global politics for centuries. But here's the real question. Could Britain's quiet decisions actually influence the outcome of a conflict between Iran and America? To understand this, we need to step back and look at the bigger picture of global power. The rivalry between Iran and the United States didn't appear overnight. It has been building for decades through politics, sanctions, and strategic disagreements. Each crisis added another layer of tension, creating a fragile relationship that the world watches closely. But conflicts between powerful nations are rarely simple. They often involve allies, partnerships, and hidden strategies. And that is where Britain quietly enters the story. Britain is one of America's closest allies, sharing intelligence networks, military cooperation, and deep political ties. Yet Britain also maintains diplomatic channels across the Middle East, making its role more complex than it may appear. This creates an interesting balance, supporting allies while also encouraging stability. Many analysts believe this balance allows Britain to influence global events in subtle ways. Think about it. Influence in global politics is not always about power or weapons. Sometimes, influence comes from diplomacy, economic connections, and strategic partnerships. Britain has spent centuries building exactly those kinds of connections. From intelligence cooperation to financial influence in London, its global network is extensive. And in moments of international tension, these networks can become extremely important. Imagine a situation where tensions suddenly escalate between Iran and the United States. Military forces increase their presence in key regions. Global media begins reporting potential conflict. Financial markets react instantly. Oil prices rise. International leaders call emergency meetings. In such moments, allies begin coordinating strategies and diplomatic responses. This is where Britain's influence could become significant. Some experts argue Britain often acts as a stabilizing voice in global crises. Others believe it strengthens the strategic position of its allies. Personally, I believe Britain often tries to do both at the same time. Support its allies while preventing situations from spiraling out of control. This balancing act is not easy, but it has become a hallmark of British diplomacy. Another key factor is economics. London is one of the most influential financial centers in the world. Decisions made there can ripple through global markets within hours. If tensions between Iran and the United States increase dramatically, financial stability becomes a major concern. Countries across Europe and the Middle East would immediately feel the impact. Energy markets, trade routes, and security alliances would all be affected. This is why governments often work behind the scenes to prevent escalation. Diplomats, analysts, and intelligence agencies constantly evaluate risks and possible outcomes. And sometimes, the most important negotiations happen far away from public attention. Quiet discussions, strategic planning, careful diplomacy. These hidden efforts often shape the direction of global politics. That is why Britain's role is often described as quiet but influential. Influence doesn't always come from loud speeches or dramatic announcements. Sometimes it comes from relationships built over decades. Intelligence cooperation, diplomatic credibility, and strategic alliances. These elements create influence that can guide major decisions. So, when global tensions rise, analysts watch not only Washington and Tehran, but London as well. Because Britain has the ability to support strategy, encourage diplomacy, or help coordinate international responses. And sometimes, a single diplomatic move can shift the direction of global events. That's the fascinating part of geopolitics. Power is rarely as simple as it appears. The biggest decisions often happen quietly, long before the world hears about them. And when those decisions involve powerful nations, the consequences can affect millions of people. So the real question is not only whether Iran and the United States will face future tensions. The real question is how their allies will influence those moments. Will diplomacy guide the outcome, or will rivalry dominate the future? History shows that alliances often determine the direction of global conflicts, and Britain has always played an important role in shaping those alliances, whether through diplomacy, strategy, or quiet negotiations. This hidden layer of global politics is something most people rarely see. But understanding it helps us see the world more clearly, because sometimes the most powerful influence belongs to the nation speaking the least. And in the complex story of Iran, America, and global power, Britain may be one of the most important players behind the scenes.